everybody, welcome back to LMS Virtual Library Episode 6. We're scheduled to go back on May 4th, so I'm hoping that we will be able to get back to school then, and I can see all the LMS students and staff. I miss you all. So I've been breaking up my time in a couple different ways. I have 2 children, so I've been working on schoolwork with them, and I've also been spending my time working on my creative space that I'm filming in right now. I don't know if you remember from Episode 1, but this is what it looked like. Yeah, terrible. Well, we're getting there. I painted the room and it's so much more brighter and happier. Here's what it looks like. Obviously, I have a lot more organizing to do and decorating, and when that's all done, I can't wait to show you. Hopefully by next week, I'll have it all sorted out. I'm psyched to finally get this room back together, so I have a place where I can not only film the LMS Virtual Library episodes where I share books and creative projects and tutorials on resources and cool tech stuff, but also just to hang out and relax and unwind and have a little bit of me time, a little self-care. I have my origami day-to-day calendar. Today is Tuesday, April 7th, so I'm going to go ahead and go to that day. And today we are making a bird skull. So my plan is to make the origami bird skull, and then I'm going to turn it into a creative art project. For Let's Get Bookish, I wanted to show you my passport to national parks. And you can pick up one of these books at any national park. You can probably buy it online as well, along with commemorative stamps to put inside. This passport basically allows you to mark off all of the national parks that you have visited. And I would love to be able to visit all the national parks here, and I've already started working on it. And this book is divided up into geographical areas. And it comes with a map as well. So you can find what parks are where and you can start planning your adventures. Within the geographical areas, you'll see a couple of spots for things. You'll see a spot for a national park stamp and then another spot for your official cancelizations. There are stamps at each of these parks where you can cancel off that you have visited, and it also shows the date that you visited the park. The cancellation stamp that I'm going to show you today is from the North Atlantic region, and it's one of my favorite places, Alexander Hamilton's home, called the Grange. And I went there back in 2016 when I saw the original cast of Hamilton perform, and it was one of the best experiences of my life. Lots of money, but totally worth it. If you have a chance, you love adventures, love touring the United States, then I suggest you start picking up one of these passports immediately and start canceling off the places you've been to and gathering those stamps and seeing if you can fill this book. It's a cool little accomplishment and also a place to make memories. For today's book review, I wanted to talk about The Night Country by Melissa Albert. Now, I told you guys that I was listening to the story and kind of gave you the gist of the series. So the main character, Alice Proserpine, finds out that she is a character from the fairy tale world called the Hinterland. And she is able to escape the Hinterland in the first story. The second book, The Night Country, many characters from the Hinterland have made their way into Alice's world, which is kind of like our world. And they were trying to find a place to survive and to live, but they're finding it very difficult because they're not like everybody else. Some of them even have the powers that they had back in the Hinterland. What happens in the Night Country is Hinterland characters start to get murdered. They are frozen solid and parts of their body are missing. And everybody thinks that Alice is responsible for their deaths because her power in the Hinterland was to freeze people to death. Alice obviously has nothing to do with it, and she's trying to figure out what's happening. Meanwhile, she starts to receive letters from Ellery Finch in a magical way. Ellery Finch decided to stay in the Hinterland. He loves an adventure and he likes to world hop because there are many different worlds, not just the Hinterland and our world. He starts to send Alice letters because he really likes her and he misses her and he wants to get back to her. But he meets this suspicious character who is able to world hop. She wants Ellery to travel around with her. He decides he's going to help her out with one journey. He finds out that this girl is somehow connected to this thing called the Night Country, which is a story but is also rumored to be kind of true as well. In the story, The Night Country, these two witches, magical people, figure out how to create new worlds. We already know of the Hinterland, we already know of the world we live in, and that there are other worlds as well. But in this story, The Night Country, you can make your own world exactly as you want to. Ellery, Alice, and all the other Hinterland characters are connected to this story, The Night Country, and the deaths and murders too. Alice is trying to figure out how it all goes together. Definitely recommend this book. I love dark fantasy. Melissa Albert has a really unique writing style, and her stories are unlike anything that I've read before. So I gave it 4.5 stars, and I hope you check it out. For today's tutorial, I'm going to show you guys how to use a green screen, specifically with the app Doink Green Screen. Now, many of you guys have probably tried this out in the library already, and my AV Club certainly has given it a go quite a few times, and they would attest that the app is extremely user-friendly. I'm going to show you how to create your own green screen video using the app today. You don't need professional studio equipment to achieve the green screen effect you're going for. You can use a piece of paper. You can use a plastic green sheet you can get at the party store. You can use any object that is green. You can use a giant green sheet if you're looking to do something more extravagant. Or, in my case, I taped a piece of green felt to a poster board. Why use a green screen anyway? Well, you can bring your pictures to life with a snap. You can make yourself go to the moon, under the ocean, climbing a mountain. It's that simple. I'm going to show you how to use this green screen functionality with the app Doink Green Screen. The app costs $1.99, but it is well worth it if you plan on using a green screen frequently. So pull out your smartphones or follow along with me as I incorporate the green screen into my clip. So let's click on the Green Screen Doink app, and we're going to click in the upper right hand corner, that addition sign, create a new project. We're going to go down to the third line on the very bottom, and we're going to find the video that we want to be in the background. So in my case, I have a ticking clock. For the second line, you're going to find the video or the picture that has the green in the background, and that will be the top layer. It goes on the second line, and you can see I just imported it here. You'll also notice that I was able to change the size of the picture by pinching on either your phone or your iPad, bigger or larger, to make it fit where you want it to go. And you can see that it took away all of the green in the background. Now I'm going to trim my bottom layer to fit with my top layer. And I noticed that I have a little bit of green around my head, and I'm going to fix that by clicking on the chroma key wheel and adjusting the sensitivity until I see no green in the background. So you can see that you can make yourself almost disappear if you'd like. All right, so I'm pretty happy with that. Now I'm going to play it through and see if I like it. I do, so I'm going to export the video. And I'm going to save it to my camera roll. Another day just ticking away. And there it is. Thanks for joining me for episode 6. Don't forget that every Thursday at 1 o'clock we are still having Harry Potter Virtual Book Club. Look for the link in Classroom, and I will see you again next week.